Hey guys, how's it going? This is John Rivera from GamingInstincts.com, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Resident Evil 2. So, where we last left off, I basically fought my way through the alleyways and streets of Raccoon City, and have finally made my way to the Raccoon City Police Department in order to meet up with Leon S. Kennedy. So, my objective right now is to look through the various rooms of the police station and to see if I can find any survivors. I think that's not going to happen, though. I don't think I'm going to find any survivors, so. Alright. Overwrite? Yes. Now, something that the Sega Saturn version had over the PlayStation version of the first Resident Evil was that saving took less time. And that's because the Sega Saturn's inclusion of several tens of kilobytes, kilobytes, right? Crazy. Kilobytes of non-volatile random access memory, which allowed for games to be saved internally on the machine with its limitations. As you guys are fully aware, if you guys watched my playthrough, I explained how I basically lost several episodes of work because of the internal storage and the fact that the system battery had pretty much gone kaput on me. So that's not going to happen this time around. I know the previous episode, the first episode of this Let's Play, I had a mishap with the memory card. I've since rectified that situation, as you saw. And so, with that, we are underway. Let's see, we're going to go back through this door. Load times have been vastly improved in this version. Alright, so I'm going to try to tiptoe my way through this situation because there's this zombies! And yes, they can actually grab onto you and do damage. Alright. There's another situation coming up. Oh. I'm not gonna lie, the first time that happened to me, it scared the ever-loving piss out of me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was as scary a jump scare as, let's say, the dogs bursting through the windows in Resident Evil 1. So they definitely filled that quotient. Alright, so we're going to make our way down here. I have a slightly better memory of this game than I do Resident Evil 1, and that's because I've played it more times all the way through. Also, a lot of the puzzles in this game are more self-explanatory than those seen in Resident Evil 1. Not that the puzzles in RE1 are obtuse. It doesn't pull any dumb, stupid crap like so many other, I guess, not copycat games. An old fountain. Something is written here. To obtain the key, to open your heart, I'll wait for the unicorn, the beautiful beast. Oh, here we go. Boom. They definitely had optimized the engine a lot better than the first time around because transitions between camera angles were a tad slower. Here we go, I got the spade key, precinct key. Now, you do have to investigate objects, like right here. It's in the shape of a spade. Now it's now known as the spade key. But it's not like you're able to, like, obviously it's shaped like a spade at the opposite end of the key. But it's not like the other keys in Resident Evil 1 where they looked pretty innocuous unless until you turned them around to investigate them in full 360-degree 3D. So a little bit of that has been lost. And to be honest, it's been like that for all this time. I think Resident Evil 7 will be the first game in the series in a long time to allow people to investigate objects. All right, now let's check here. Let's check our map. Second floor. I believe the spade key is used in that area. So let's double check that. Not there. Sorry about that, folks. I love her design as her character design is actually pretty badass. Like she's got like the tank top, vest, like red leather vest, and like the denim cut off jeans like that are really cut high. I mean, if she was wearing that and nothing else, it would be a little stupid. But she's obviously wearing a t-shirt and she's wearing shorts underneath as like a liner, which makes sense. I mean, she's a motorcyclist. So she's gonna wear something underneath to keep her from getting cold. Because I mean, I've ridden a motorcycle before and like a scooter and stuff, and like when you ride a motorcycle, even during summertime, it can get pretty chilly. So you need to wear something to keep you from freezing to death. And there is an emphasis on layers in this game, because eventually she's gonna shed the jacket. I know, spoiler alert, sorry. I know that's like a shocking revelation. And then also throughout the course of Leon S. Kennedy's campaign, he actually gets, he finds himself getting pretty badly injured. And so he ends up layering up because he has some gauze and some wrappings around his chest region. Now, they messed around with this concept a lot heavier in Resident Evil 1.5. In that game, they were actually going to have armor upgrades for your characters. Uh-oh.
Help me!
Oh no, it's a little girl. Get over here. As Sigourney Weaver in Aliens would say, get away from her, you bitch. Let's pull out that knife. Try to do some marginal extra damage. Wait, what? No. What are you doing? Nice. That's what I was going for. No, let's re-equip that pistol. You've used the spade key. Uh-oh, who's this? Oh snap, it's Leon. Leon?
Claire, you made it.
You couldn't see who it was from that distance? It's not the N64. There's no fog.
Yeah, you just missed her. Who is she?
I don't know. But it's too dangerous for her to stay here alone. Leon, I'll go look for her. You go and find us a way out of here.
Of course. But before I forget, here's a radio. That way we can keep in touch if something comes up.
The animations are a lot more fleshed out in this game too than the first one. Now, I made a little quip about the N64, right, and its use of fog. Believe it or not, for those of you who are not familiar with this game, there was actually an N64 version of this game released. And believe it or not, it's not bad. It actually uses a 500 megabit cartridge to house everything. I mean, the cutscenes, like everything. It's actually kind of miraculous that such a game like this could not only exist on an N64 cartridge, but could actually house both campaigns. It's not like this. You got to think about this. Resident Evil 2 was housed on 2 CDs. Like, immediately when you pop open this disc, or you pop open your PS1 and you pop in disc B or disc 2. Oh, here we go. We got a puzzle here. When you pop that disc in, all you have access to is one campaign or the other. It's not like the first game. So for the N64 to actually be able to house both campaigns on one cartridge, it's kind of a miracle. Because let's face it, the biggest problem with the N64 was the space of the cartridges. It was actually kind of hamstrung by the fact that it was using cartridge technology. It was originally intended to pass the savings on to you, the gamer, but, and that's because that means that the N64 has less moving parts in it, as were CD-based consoles like the PlayStation, 3DO, Saturn, and such actually used a lot of moving parts to detect data on the CD. You know, there's gears and like motors and stuff that have to facilitate the movement of the laser mechanism to read certain sectors on the disc. With a cartridge-based console, you don't have that problem, but the problem that you run into is a problem that is as old as time. The fact that cartridges simply didn't hold all that much information. This led to a lot of early generation N64 games, first party included, being limited in the ways of the level of detail that textures could have. Also, even though I believe the PlayStation has only so many kilobytes of texture memory, you know, even though that is an issue with the game, as you can see here, obviously Resident Evil 2 went some lengths to circumvent such issues, obviously going with pre-rendered backgrounds instead of using dynamic 3D, fully rendered and texture mapped backgrounds or environments. Because like in Resident Evil 1, there are walls here, obviously, or else Claire would just keep running in that direction. There would be no geometric reality. But obviously, they're not texture mapped. All they are, they're just serving as collision surfaces to prevent Claire from moving too far out of the environment. And like I said in my playthrough of Resident Evil 1, it was a smart workaround for an otherwise impossible issue to surmount, making 3D games. I mean, this console, the N64 and the Sega Saturn, they were pretty much the trials of 3D gaming and developing games in 3D. By the way, that was intentional. That's story-based. Wait, what did that say? A bronze plate with a picture on it. Okay, I got it. Power switch on the shelf. Will you push it? Yes, I will. A switch to slide the shelf left and right. Will you push it? Yes. Let's push it to the right. There are a lot of folks out there who regard the 5th generation of game consoles and the games that came out on it as being overall kind of a wash. And I'm actually quoting Derek Alexander from Stop Skeletons from Fighting. Previously, he was known as the HVGN, the Happy Video Game Nerd, which I owe a lot to him in terms of how I cover games, past and present. If it wasn't for him, my style would not have evolved to where it is now. So my hat's off to Derek Alexander. But he often says that the 5th generation of gaming was pretty much like a wash, and where some games just don't stand the test of time. And while that is true for that generation, it's also very much true for any other generation of gaming. Every generation has its fair share of trials, successes, and failures. And this era is definitely no different. Because, you know, for the first time, you know, we were really getting into polygonal 3D-based graphics for games. We pretty much had to start over. So we had to basically curb our sensibilities, not just in terms of development, but also in terms of expectations. You're dead. So it's interesting to see how, as somebody of my generation, very much early generation Y, technically speaking, our generation, or our subset of that generation, is very interesting because we've had the, I guess, either the pleasure or dubious pleasure of seeing the progression of technology. We've seen sprite-based gaming go from antiquated, go from archaic, you know, with the Atari 2600, to just really badass 3D. I mean, badass 2D, sprite-based graphics. But then when the 5th generation started with the FM Towns Marty, the Amiga CD32, the Atari Jaguar, and all sorts of stuff like that, yes, I know that those were absolute failures, but they were a part of that generation, like it or not. Just like they share the same generation with the Apple Pippin, the Sony PlayStation, the Sega Saturn, all of those. And even more so than the PlayStation, the Sega Saturn, and the N64, those consoles that never were able to, I guess, poke a hole in the market, like the latter three consoles were able to. Well, those were the true trials of 3D game development, I think. There was no science behind it. There was nothing that was proven at the time. So all they could do is stumble. And stumble is what they did, more often than not. That's why I find, you know, the 5th generation and the beginnings of polygonal 3D and graphics to be incredibly fascinating. Of course, they're extremely antiquated by today's standards, but the thing is, had they not taken that bold leap into the 3D world, had they not done it at that time, it would have taken a later era for the science to be figured out. If you follow my drift, if you catch my drift. Like if Atari, the Commodore Group, you know, FM Towns Marty, the Philips CDI. No, I'm not even going to include that. The 3DO by 3DO company. If those companies and the developers who made games for them, including Crystal Dynamics, Core Design, even Naughty Dog had a hand in developing games, early 3D games for those consoles, had they not cut their teeth on that stuff, later developers and later software project endeavors would not have had something to look at. They would have not had a blueprint to look at and say, okay, this is incredibly flawed. How do we fix it? We've seen somebody try and fail. How do we succeed? And that's how things evolve. That's how things get better. And it's not just that. It was the competition between all these different developers that allowed for such innovation and advancements in 3D gaming to occur. Simply put, that's how that stuff happens. People have to try at first. And if you don't try first, you know, if you don't first succeed, try again. Iterate. You know, innovate. That's how that stuff happens. And, you know, the 5th generation of gaming with its foray into, or its plunge into what is now known as modern day 3D graphics, it's no different. Secretary's Diary, A. April 6th. I accidentally moved one of the stone statues on the 2nd floor when I leaned against it. When the chief found out about it, he was furious. I swear the guy nearly bit my head off. Screaming at me over never to touch never to touch the statue ever again. If it's so important, then maybe he shouldn't have put it out in the open like that. April 7th. I heard that all the art pieces from the chief's collection are rare items, literally worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know which is the bigger mystery, where he finds those tacky things, or where he's getting the money to pay for them. Good question. May 10th. I wasn't surprised to see the chief come in today with yet another large picture frame in his hands. This time it was a really disturbing painting depicting a nude person being hanged. I was appalled by the expression on the chief's face as he leered at the painting. Why anyone would consider something like that to be a work of art is beyond my comprehension. Again, it's just, you know, through the contextual storytelling, you find out more about the darker secrets of some of the personnel at the police department. Alright, there's nothing else here of interest. A magazine rack. None of these books look useful. There's another typewriter. Let's see. I'm going to leave that ink ribbon there for now. Let's see. I'm going to quickly go in here, avoid the zombies. I don't want to waste my ammunition just yet. Alright, I'm gonna run. Nice. This is actually making the way all the way around to the other wing of the police department, by the way. Not sure if I should even... Okay, you can hear the shuffling in there. There are clearly zombies in there. Yes, I'll take those. Let's see, is there another clip? Okay, that's a bummer. Okay, unfortunately, the fidelity of these background layers and these overlay layers are not enough for them to show some transparency between the blinds, as you can see. Oh gosh. Let's see. Let's check our map. Gonna run quick. Always quick. Okay, a heart is etched under the keyhole. I need the heart key. Another interesting feature in this game that's really cool. Again, it's a small aesthetic improvement, but when you... Let's see. Let's try to go back. Let's check the map. When you try to access a door after getting the map or whatever, when you get the map, it actually shows you, it kind of highlights doors in different colors to indicate whether they are locked through traditional means, are open, or require particular keys to open. Very nice touch. Okay. So I'm going to actually... I think I'm going to run back and swing around to the other side of the building. I'm not going to face those assholes in this next hallway. I'm just going to run to the door. If it'll let me. Okay, there we go. By the way, using this controller is, I mean, it's a different beast, as you can see. I mean, this controller is definitely an oddball peripheral. So, alright, let's get this real quick. Alright, and before I forget, I'm gonna unfurl this ladder. Emergency ladder. Will you push the button? Nice. So I'm gonna go down here. Will you go down the ladder? Yes, of course. Okay, so what now? Let's go back through this door. Because I believe I need to grab the crank. Pop my neck. There. Okay. I'm gonna put this item in here. There we go. Auto combine for the win. I'm not gonna deposit that just yet because I need that for a special item. Okay. Okay. Actually, no, I almost forgot to show you. Interesting thing about the universal item storage container when you access it, as you can see, I'm perpetually running in place. In the first game, when you accessed the locker or the universal item box, your character would like freeze mid-animation. But as you can see right here, I'm accessing it right now, and she goes back into her idle animation. So just the little touches in this game that really round it out. It's just really, really polished. Nothing more. I think I omitted opening up another desk, small side desk. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this poor asshole. You've used the spade key. The key is useless now. Discard. Another change from the first game to this one. If you noticed in the previous playthrough, whenever I used up a key, it would actually go back to my inventory screen, and ask me, hey, yo, this key is useless now, would you like to discard it? And then you say yes, it discards it, but it doesn't automatically take you out of the inventory screen. You actually have to do that yourself. Not that it's that big of an issue, but it's like, you could have handled that without accessing the inventory screen. And that's exactly what they did right there. They made that change. They said, this is more streamlined, let's go with this. And it's just a smart idea. Like I said, little things changed here and there that really polish the final product. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm looking for an item, perhaps some handgun ammunition. God, it's so nice to not be faced with technical issues. And I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about, like, technical problems recording my Let's Plays. I mean, the first Resident Evil was just ridiculous. Alright, let's get this over with. Patrol report. Patrol report, September 20th, 9:30 p.m. Reporter, Sergeant Neil Carlson. Right? Carlson, yeah. We received a report of a suspicious individual skulking around the sewers in the outskirts of Raccoon City. I've searched the area and located the individual, but he ran away before I was able to question him. I recovered the following items: a small amount of C4 plastic explosive, ooh, dangerous stuff, an electronic detonator, a 9x19 parabellum rounds, nine clips or magazines of parabellum rounds, and an infrared scope, broken. End of report. The patrol report has been filed. Various files on various cases. None appear to be useful. There should be some ammunition in here. I'm pretty sure, at least. Raccoon City data files, most on Umbrella Inc. So they've been digging up on this case for quite some time. Visual materials, aka looks like reels of film, or oh no, you know what those are? Those are magazines of photo slides. Like, you know, you take a photograph and you print them out on an optical printer to make a special translucent slides or transparencies that can then be used in a special still photograph projector or slide projector. Basically what we found in the Umbrella Lab at the end of Resident Evil 1. should be some ammunition somewhere. Files on various cases, none appear to be useful. It's gotta be somewhere. A pile of investigation reports. Huh. Let's hop on here. Yup. Alright, nothing useful. Let's check right here. I swear that there was some ammunition somewhere in here. Maybe my memory is hazy. Let's get that crank. I mean, there has to be something around here. No? God bless. No? Alright. I guess not. Okay, whatever. Alright, let's mosey on down here. Right. By the way, these arms never grab at you ever again. So, fear not. Back to the briefing room. Because we need to grab the red jewel from this painting. Right? It's a fireplace. An oil painting hangs above it. The title is A Sacrifice to the Hellfire. It's a very disturbing painting. And it really goes to show how sick and twisted of a bastard Brian Irons is, the chief of the police department. Let's use this. Lights the fire. Better looking fire in this game, too. I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of obtuse. Like, who would think that lighting a fire will make the jewel burn out of a hole in the painting? Absurd. I remember reading in a magazine back in the day, somebody making an op-ed, an opinionated editorial, just on how difficult it's got to be a police officer or a research scientist in Raccoon City. You gotta have like all these different keys with emblems on this. You need like several medallions just to get to your office. I mean, what a friggin' nightmare that's got to be. Alright, so I think that'll do us for this section. Then we're going to go back to the universal item box and then store the red jewel in there, the second one, and then make our way to the other wing. Right, because we are currently at the west wing. So we're gonna make our way to the east wing. I'm not gonna lie, the D-pad on this controller is quite smushy, and not in a good way. Also, I'm having to use the trigger to run, so not ideal. I mean, the trigger should have been used for the firing, but what I think is the problem is that for Biohazard games for the PlayStation, in other words, the Japanese versions, the fire button is not. Basically, the cancel buttons and the confirm buttons are flipped. So this is actually apparent in not just the Biohazard beta that I played, but also Resident Evil 1.5. So the action buttons and the cancel buttons are completely flipped around. They're completely the opposite. Why? I have no idea. But they've made this change to Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. Again, I have no idea why. And I'm pretty sure Survivor, even though it's a crappy game, Survivor also has the buttons flipped. Again, for what reasons, I have no idea. Now, let's keep this organized. Alright. And I think that'll do us for now. All right, off to the East Wing. Oh no, zombies! What up? You'll notice also here that there's a genuine improvement on the polygon count of the zombies. It's actually kind of amazing. They also animate a lot better than the zombies seen in the first game. Alright, piss off, guys. This is not funny anymore. Alright. So that's... Okay, this is the false sense of security that this game lulls you into in the beginning of the game. Like, you find yourself having all of these parabellum rounds for your handgun, but there are situations like this, and then the next room, which is that blue door adjacent to where I'm standing, where there's several zombies that you have to dispatch and just kill. They all are pretty resilient, and they take a lot of rounds to put down. And that's where the game actually, to its credit, you know, brings that false sense of security back, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're in a frantic situation or a desperate situation because, oh my gosh, I've wasted all of this ammunition. What am I going to do? You know? All of this stuff was deliberately put in here for a reason, and that's, again, to this game's credit. All right, let's see. Full clip. Let's do it. Gotta kill these zombies. Oh, quick load times. Alright, let's combine this, do that, equip this. Oh! Piss off. Now I'm at caution, finally. Let's see. Alright. Oh! You are not dead yet. I can change that. Okay. There's somebody else. Oh, here's another aesthetic improvement. Now that I'm wounded, if your character takes damage and is in the orange zone, which is caution, or the red zone, which is danger, it actually significantly impacts your character's mobility. As you can see, as I backpedal, Claire's clutching her stomach as she's reeling back, but she's barely able to do so. And if you're in the danger zone, your character can barely move. I mean, your character is literally shambling, just desperately trying to run away. And even when you're running, it's incredibly, painfully slow. So not only is it imperative to keep your health in the green zone, just so that way you can handle more hits and take on more damage before you die, well, it's also important to maintain your mobility. So again, it's another interesting touch that this game has. Oh, look at this. Look. You can actually see the zombies. Another interesting aesthetic improvement to this game is the notion of head tracking. Look. As you can see, as I'm rotating my character, Claire is actually facing, her head is constantly tracking and facing the downed zombie that I just killed. Very, 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 very intricate design. Look. Now her head reels around because it's at the proper angle. There's like a there's like a field of tracking. It's like, I want to say like a 45-degree angle or a 45-degree range of articulation that the head has in terms of tracking onto various enemies. So as you can see right now, Claire is focused on, right here, is focused on that zombie that's on the floor in front of her. Again, great aesthetic touches. But also, the zombies do that as well. You can see and it's a great indicator of whether or not a zombie is alive or dead, because if it's dead, its head does not track to Claire's position. So he's clearly still alive, or undead, or something, whatever. Oh, still alive. Oh. Sound effects are a lot better in this game too. And just like the first game, you can tell that a zombie or an enemy is permanently put down, you know, is dead, as dead as they're ever going to be, is when a pool of blood emanates from their carcass. So let's see if I remember this code from heart, or by heart. It's 2, 2, 3, 6. Still got it. After all this time. A police station map. Will you take it? Sure. Let's go to our map. See? Like I said, once you get the map, it actually highlights or color codes the doors depending on which key you need in order to access that room. Again, great touches. Alright. Supposed to be something here. Yep. Green herb. Yes, I will take that. Another green herb. Not bad. Let's combine these two so that way I can grab it. Actually, no, let's not do that. I'm going to use this one, get myself back in the green zone, then I'm going to pick up the other one, then I'm going to combine those two. Just doing a little botany. Alright, so is there anything else of interest around here? Nope, I guess not. And yeah, that's pretty much kaput. Oh, wow. Check this out. Do you see that? For some reason, the ink ribbon, in terms of its Z ordering, takes higher priority over Claire Redfield's model. That's interesting. Just a little thing I pointed out. Whatever. I don't know why, but I really find that stuff to be interesting. Like how 3D graphics technology works, the notion of Z ordering, the notion of draw distance, all of that stuff is just very fascinating to me. Let's see. Actually, let's combine this. I am running very low on pistol ammunition. For sure. So I'm going to run through here, try to access the... Oh, that's right, there are zombies in here. Oh no, zombies! Sweet, got to the safe room. Let's put that away. Let's put this away, because I don't think we're going to need it. Actually, no, I need to go in here. I need to go to the helicopter pad. Or, no, the crash site of the helicopter. Because I have to put the flames out. Right? Alright, so I need to be quick. Gotta be quick. Nope. Yep. Birds. Oh. Ah, damn it, Alfred Hitchcock. Shit. That's all his fault. If he never made that movie, it would never have made its reference in here. So, all right. So, by the way, Leo warning: this fire can actually hurt you. So, I say Leo warning because Leo, co-founder of the website, Badass Among Badasses, falls prey to fire hazards. All right. But aside from his fire allergy, he's oh gosh, he's a solid game player. I mean, to be honest, he really puts me to shame, so. The thing is, he's a solid completionist, like through and through. Like, he doesn't rest until a game is 100% complete when it comes to like all the collectibles and stuff. He's all about that. He's all about like squeezing every last drop from a game, which is very admirable. Oh yeah, another pinup. Sweet. Oh, badass bowgun. Got the crossbow. I tell you what. When the shit hits the fan in a zombie apocalypse, it never hurts to have a nice little crossbow at your disposal. Never leave the house without it. Anyway, back to Resident Evil 2. Got the bowgun. Let's see if there's anything else of interest. Like I said, you can always pick up the bowgun from Robert Kendo in the gun shop, but you risk wasting parabellum bullets on acquiring it, because you either have to take the hit to your health or take the hit to your ammunition. It's up to you to decide which one. All right, let's go through this door. I know what's at the other end of it. Oh no, zombies! Oh no! That was completely optional. But if you look at the map here, I'm going to actually access the map right now. Anytime now. If you look at the map, there's nothing at the other side. Like, there's nothing after that door, so it's a dead end, literally. Oh! Oh, man. Oh, I'm gonna take a hit. Oh, well. You win some, you lose some. Totally not cool. Okay. So I've got the, what, the flange? The valve handle. Sorry, not the flange. Come on, Jill. I mean, not Jill. Claire. Come on, Claire. You can do it. Nice. I believe the valve handle comes in handy later on. I hate to say I'm not exactly sure, but helicopter is a complete wreck. I'm surprised that those did not get discharged in the heat of that fire. The helicopter is a complete wreck. Poor helicopter. I wonder if there's anything else of interest. Nope. Back to the birds. Let's see, let's check the map real quick before we proceed. Okay, so that's the only other access. Okay. So, I'm gonna make my way around. Sorry, I have to plan this out carefully. This shit's for the birds, literally. Alright. I'm going to proceed. Alright. Yep. I get it. I get it. You're birds. Yep. Okay. So we're coming up on an hour here. So. What happened? Where are the zombies? Did I seriously? Huh. I actually got rid of them through that event. That's good. Conservation of ammo is key in a Resident Evil game. The door is broken. I can't go any further. There's no choice but to take out the wall. I see. I'm not gonna lie, that actually made me jump a little bit. I see what you did there. That was a good one. I was not expecting that. I totally forgot about that. The beauties of revisiting a game after so many years of not playing it. Nothing but an oil painting wrapped up in cloth. Nothing useful on the shelf. A woman relief. There's a hole about the size of a fist. An armored stone statue. The stand says, or the stand reads, Tyrannos the Brave revives the two lights. Will you take the precinct key? Yes, of course I will. Let's check our map. Okay, so those two doors. Nice. Sorry, just doing a quick scan. Okay. I'm wondering if there's anything else of use. Yes, of course. Always investigate. It never hurts. Nothing inside. Not anymore, at least. Let's go back in here. I want to investigate that painting. If possible. It's been neglected and covered with dust. Is that it? Yeah, it's been neglected and it's covered with dust. All right. So I think the next step is to pick up the C4 plastic explosive plus the fuse or the detonator and then blow up that wall. So that way we can finally meet face to face with Police Chief Brian Irons. So that's what I'm going to try to do next episode. As for this episode, this pretty much does it. So I hope you guys enjoyed so far. I'm going to immediately dive in and blow up that wall if possible. I got to get to that investigation or interrogation room. I believe there's a licker that crashes through a false mirror or a fake mirror or whatever it's called. I hope you guys will join me next time around for that. This is John Rivera from Gaming Instinct signing off saying thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned and get updated on future episodes of my Let's Play. But I hope you guys will also stick around for what Leo's doing for the YouTube channel as well as the website. He's been in a mad dash writing reviews and stuff, and he's really working his butt off. And he does excellent work, so I recommend that you guys check his stuff out. And also check out his Let's Plays. He is almost done with Final Fantasy 15. I hope you guys will stay tuned and check those videos out as well. If you liked this video in particular and you want to start a conversation down below, don't hesitate to hit that comment box and type away. Either dropping hints, suggestions, maybe a little bit of history on what your personal experience with this game is and whether you liked it, or just explain why this game means so much to you, if it does. So again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all next time.